Welcome to a new update, and today we're going to look at the Bitcoin market. It's GDP day and the Bitcoin markets have been correcting. Also gold has been correcting a little, Nasdaq has been correcting, the debt ceiling is getting a larger topic, and we've had the FOMC minutes yesterday in which some news came out. But before we continue, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Lots of changes are going to be implemented, and one of them is that we have launched a new website. Additionally, we've launched a new name. From now on, 8 Global will be MN Trading, which means that from here on everything goes through our website. We still have the premium platform, and as you can see, we have an ROI of 38.5%. Monthly update will be done, and you can access the premium platform through the website, order over there. But also there is the trade letter, there's a trial week, so you can test the membership for 1 week if you'd like to. And additionally, we're going to launch the course relatively soon, which can all be seen on the website. I'm really proud of it, and I think from here on we can move forward into the bull cycle. And it's also very easy to understand where the MN trading comes from, because my name is simply MN. So now it's all referring to me and to my socials, which is great. Also, if you would like to see more of the content and get some additional features, make sure to join the public Discord. There will be more activity in there. We're slowly building that. We are there with 9,000 members, so make sure to join the platform. Today it should be macro day, but unfortunately the past few days we have been really busy with the launch of the new website. There's more work into such a thing than we would have imagined beforehand. So today we're just going to look at Bitcoin's price action and total market cap, and I think it's quite important to analyze it on the higher time frames and the lower time frames, given the fact that we've got GDP, but also given the fact that we've got FOMC coming in quite soon. And there are some rumors about the FOMC, especially with the minutes, that at least some of them want to pause the hikes. And I think the odds of having a pause is going to happen either next meeting or the meeting after. And as you recall correctly from my previous videos, you know that when there is such a thing as a pause, it's going to fuel the markets. There's also the debt ceiling, which is a big important event which we might be getting an impact from. The debt ceiling itself, if that is hit, it might be inducing that the dollar and the risk on assets are not going to do well. But I think that if the debt ceiling is hit and there's no agreement, you're going to see a response on gold and Bitcoin, probably very comparable to what we've witnessed in the case of the banks that have been crashing in March. Initially we went downhill and then we started to bounce up as everything was resolved. Or at least gold and Bitcoin were doing really well during this period. The same thing can be done with the debt ceiling. And I think that either if the debt ceiling is hit and there's no agreement, gold and Bitcoin do well. If the debt ceiling is hit and there is an actual agreement and they raise it, I think risk on will do well too. So now we're just into fear of that, of the actual debt ceiling to be hit. I think they will be having an agreement, but we'll have to see it. And secondly, we also have another big event taking place on June 1st, which is Hong Kong opens up for crypto trading. So the fact that we're currently correcting for 7 weeks in a row isn't really a moment that you start shorting unless we break certain levels. So let's discuss the charts and move towards them. When we are discussing the markets, I think there are a few important things we should be looking at. First of all, we've got the entire important data. During this video, the data already came out. The past few days we've had some important data points. One of them is FOMC meeting minute, which has an impact today. GDP prelim is not that much important because advanced is already out there. The unemployment claims is an important one. If that one starts to rally again, most likely we will see an impact from that. But it's still just swimming around. No real impact yet on terms of recession. But if the unemployment claims is going to be higher, or GDP is worse than expected, yields most likely drop. And additionally, you will see the dollar become weaker. PCE comes out tomorrow, and then we're going to watch the next more type of big events, which is focused on next week. Job openings is coming up, and we've got on Thursday we've got PMI and unemployment claims in ADP, then another ADP day on June 2nd, and then the week after on June the 7th. Oh, I thought we had it here, sorry. On June the 14th it should be then. Yeah, there we go. June the 14th we've got the FOMC. So I think that's the corner of next month in terms of importance. We still need to focus on CPI and inflationary data. So tomorrow with PCE is going to be important, and GDP is also a trigger, including unemployment claims. So that's about it. Now, when we're looking at the markets, we can conclude a few things here, which is we still have this crucial resistance zone at 30k that we couldn't break through, right? So that we are having a response from that is pretty much fine. What do we have more is that we've got the 200-week MA and 200-week EMA beneath us, which means that these two levels are a critical one. Right now, with the price action recently, we have been seeing a sweep beneath the 200-week MA. The question is, are we going to close beneath it? So here we've done the exact same, but we quickly reclaimed afterwards, and therefore the price started to reverse. In this case, if we are able to reclaim it quite fast, you could argument that this is just a very natural correction, and that we are ready for the next impulse, which most likely is going to bring us towards either 38k or 49k, depending on the strength. I think 38 is quite likely. So the 200 MAs are quite important to keep an eye on when it comes to the trading of the markets. Before we continue, and it's a little bit of the macroeconomic updates, we've got strength on the dollar. And this recent strength isn't really fueling strength on Bitcoin, right? So I'll just erase the moving averages a little bit here. What do we see? We do see that we are having strength on the DXY in terms of having a relief rally. We've got a potential rounded bottom here, but we are getting into resistance areas. So this entire area that we have here is a crucial resistance that we are currently facing. So this entire region is the area where I think we're going to have a resistance for the DXY. If that is going to take place, most likely within now and a few days, we're going to reverse on the DXY, and from there we start to attack the lows again, because we are still on a downtrend. And we are currently creating a hidden bearish divergence, implying that we continue with this downwards fall. On the other hand, if we break and flip 104.6, that is most likely going to continue the strength here, and that is also the trigger for Bitcoin to drop beneath 20k. So here we are currently at the resistance zone for the DXY. As mentioned, if the data comes in properly, we most likely are going to reverse here. Then the 2-year yields, same picture. I've been mentioning this before. We are looking at a case where the DXY is running up, and also the yields are running up. Implications that the debt ceiling might be activated is usually putting a lot of uncertainty on a government, hence why the yields are going to run up. I think the moment when the debt ceiling is into final stages or an agreement is going to be reached, this one is going to fall either way, and then the risk on assets will start to do well, because the actual impact of the markets on a rallying yield is that Bitcoin and risk on assets are not doing really well overall. So in this case, we are looking at a case where the yields are currently running towards a new high, and therefore you're looking at a potential reversal in this block. So we have this gap here. That is most likely going to be a case where we're going to have a reversal taking into account. And I think that on both sides, including the dollar and including the yields, you might want to look at a potential reversal pattern relatively soon, or at least looking at a potential top to be happening within the next week. So we are currently having this corrective period, or at least this upwards corrective period, and we are facing crucial resistance zones. So it might be likely that we're going to have this reversal taking place relatively soon. Additionally, we've got gold here. Gold is currently looking at a case that we are still showing ourselves into a corrective period. and therefore we might be having another sweep of these lows towards here before we can start continuing the movement again back upwards, as we just lost the entire construction. In that case, going back towards the crypto market cap, the overall market cap itself is looking actually quite good for investments. I see 12k all over the place, but 12k doesn't really line up with how the markets are looking at this point. So what we're looking at here is that we're back above the 200 week MA and EMA. We are having a pretty healthy correction, and if this week is going to fire us a little bit higher, I think we can have a doji here again. An argument that we are into a period of final stages of this correction. It's a little bit odd to say, but especially since we got this massive weekly bullish divergence here, the trend might not be over yet. And usually when we have a bearish relief rally on the markets, where do we go to? We go towards this level first. So I think we are not there yet, especially if you're looking at the previous cycles. There we go. 2015, 2016, I cannot make it here on this chart, but if you go towards 2018 to 2017, we have been running towards the exact same level here too, and find ourselves into a resistance there, which means that there's still some more upwards momentum to be getting there. We might be in this stage and get a final rally towards there, which means a potential 2x. If we're looking at Bitcoin historically, Bitcoin has been seeing, I've clicked the wrong one, all-time history index. Bitcoin is also on the 200 week MA and EMA. If you look at potential relief rallies of 2015 to 2016, you can also see that we get close towards the 3.8 and the 618 here. So in that case, the 200 week MA is an important one. Additionally, we've got the daily moving averages beneath us as well. So there's the importance. Now, when we're looking at the lower time frames, we are currently seeing a case of range construction. This entire area, and I'll just make it like this, this entire area is a range construction, which means resistance is here. Another test of that area is most likely going to face us with a breakout. Mid-range resistance is here too. Breaking that, I think we're going to accelerate quite fast. And we've got this wick here. Additionally, if we are not able to provide any buyers, stepping in 25k is the next level of support. So what you're looking at a case where you want to become interested. Bullish divergence here, invalidated because we are not able to make a higher low. In that case, we might be getting another sweep. And we're looking at such a scenario, and then we can start rallying quite fast into the new upwards run. So what are the potential triggers you're looking at? You're looking at this one, this second one, which is the reclaim of 26.2 after, or the reclaim of 26.6 or 27.5. These are all more confirmations on whether or not the trend has been there. You can also take the aggressive approach, but then the bullish divergence need to confirm that it's actually there, and then you can start targeting longs. On the update on Saturday, I'll be looking at what happened, and we're going to look at the HODL portfolio overall. I hope you have been enjoying this update. On Saturday, I'll be discussing my HODL portfolio, so my top 5 coins that I'll be looking at to hold into the bull market in my entire thesis of the markets, etc. Make sure to subscribe and like this video. Make sure to check out our website, or make sure to check out the trial week if you're not a member. Have a wonderful day, happy trading, and I'll see you again Saturday. Ciao!